Hello and welcome to St. Andrew Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. This is online lecture series. I am Rohit Raj, Civil Engineering Department professor. We are studying sewage and treatment, and this is third lecture in this course. We are discussing collection of sewage. In that portion, we are studying different type of sewer pipes. So first, welcome today's topic that will start with steel pipe sievers. Okay, before that we have already discussed different types of sewer pipes earlier also, that are concrete pipes. Okay, here you can see we have discussed cement concrete pipes, vitrified clay sievers and brick sievers. Okay, now we'll start with steel sievers. Okay, in last lecture, I also discussed brief introduction about steel pipes. I will start with here only. Steel pipes are used when lightness, imperviousness, and resistance to bursting pressure are the major requirements. As discussed earlier, that when the important requirements are that it should be light enough, it should be impervious enough, and it should be resistant to bursting pressure enough. Okay, so resistance to bursting pressure means the pressure it can hold is too high. Okay, so if the supply line has pressure too high, or if the sewer system has pressure too high, then the requirement of steel pipes arises. Okay, another point to discuss is that it can absorb shocks and high external pressures. Okay, it can absorb shocks easily. We all know that steel has phenomenal property of absorbing shocks by deflecting or buckling anything, but it can absorb shocks, that is for sure, without failure. Okay, now third point is erosion and corrosive action. Okay, now erosion and corrosive action is one of the most important problem in sewer systems, as we all know that sewer systems always get moisture. Okay, so if there is sufficient moisture, then the most important problem with them is of corrosive or erosion. So these problems will arise in all of almost all kind of sewer systems. So as we have studied earlier also, that in concrete pipe sewer erosion and corrosion problem, that is said combined, that chemical attack problems are quite obvious and quite familiar with that, and we have also studied the measurements to be taken for controlling them. Okay, so we already studied that, how to bear with that, how to check that. Now here in steel pipe sievers, we can also control them using a bitumen coat. Okay, when we will use a bituminous coating to the internal surfaces, then we can check erosion and corrosive action. Okay, so this problem can also be easily taken off. Okay, so steel pipe can be preferred in the situation when lightness, imperviousness, and resistance to bursting are major requirements. Okay, also it can absorb shocks. So in case of dynamic loading above the pipes, there the steel pipe is most suitable for them. Okay, now you can see with this example, this is proper steel sewer. Okay, steel pipe sewer. You might have seen somewhere. This is steel sewer pipe. Okay, now another type is asbestos cement pipe sewers. Okay, asbestos is material we use in cement in civil engineering construction works most frequently. Okay, uh, one or more reason is that it is lightweighted. Okay, lightweighted and smooth. Okay, in any construction work, civil engineering works, or um, rooftop works, also we use asbestos cement pipes and sewers. Okay, so now asbestos cement pipe sewers may be used for sewer systems and what are the reasons for them, we will study one by one. So, asbestos cements are made with help of concrete and asbestos fibers. Okay, mixture of cement and asbestos fibers. Okay, it is made with cement and asbestos fibers. Another point is it is light weighted. Okay, important, most important. Okay, it is light weighted, smooth. Okay, this point, it is light weighted, smooth. Okay, it is light weighted and smooth and durable. Durable means it can long last. Okay, another point is it can sustain moderately good internal pressure. Okay, now in compare with steel pipes, definitely it will sustain more internal pressure, less internal pressure, but it can sustain moderately good internal pressure. So in a situation where the internal pressure is not that much high, we can also prefer asbestos cement pipe. Uh, Situations demand types of pipes. Okay, when the internal pressure is too high, then definitely will not use asbestos. But if there is moderate internal pressure, then steel pipes may be not suitable for that place in terms of either strength, excess strength, or it can be costlier. Okay. Another point is that they can easily cut, drilled, joint, and fitted. Okay. So, uh, in compare with other sewer systems or sewer pipes, they are more easily handled. Okay, they can be handled comparatively easier. Okay, their handling is comparatively easier. They are brittle, thus unable to bear the external loads. Okay, so this is the cons. This much till here. These three are the pros of this pipes, but this point you have to keep in mind that this is brittle. And what is brittle? That do not bear any what? Any tensile stress. Okay, so that is brittle. It will fail in tensile load, so it is unable to bear any external loads. It will collapse or it will fail. Okay, so this one we have to keep in mind that this is brittle. You already know what is ductile and what is brittle. Okay, means what cannot bear any tensile stress. Okay, so brittle is anything that cannot bear tensile strength or easily fails during a tensile load. Okay, so this cannot bear external loads. Mostly used for rainwater pipes. Okay, so asbestos cement pipes are generally used for rainwater. Okay, now why do we use this for only rainwater purposes? We'll discuss this in further lectures, but for now, for moment, you can understand this because generally rainwater drainage systems are generally pipes that carry water from rooftops or any regions in our houses to the drainage system, or if we are harvesting that water to the tanks. Okay, so there the chance of external load are very less, so we can usually apply this. Okay, what we can use there, asbestos cement pipe sievers. This is the example of asbestos cement pipe sievers. Okay, you can clearly see this is asbestos cement pipe sewer system. This is mixture of cement and asbestos fibers. Okay, now another type is cast iron sewer pipes. Okay, in your exams you may be asked to write all the different types of sewer pipes. Okay, and the examiner may ask to compare each of them. Okay, then these points are really very important. You have to write the pros and cons of each pipes so that you can easily compare with them. Okay, so You might have seen these wrap-up questions in your exams, or you can see in the coming exams. When extra strength is required, cast iron pipes are used as sewer pipes. We all know that cast irons are famous for its high compressive strength. Okay, so these are strong against internal and external pressure. Okay, so these can bear both internal and external pressure. Okay, strong internal and external pressure. Okay, so when the requirement of strength is too high, then we will use cast iron sewer pipes. These are smooth, durable, and strong. Also, one important point is that they are costlier and heavier. Okay, so we will definitely not use unless and until the requirement is too high for strength, because they are costlier and heavier. It will be difficult to transport them, to carry them, and also they will be costlier. Okay, this is example of cast iron sewer pipes. You might have seen them. Generally, railways use them. Okay, we all know that railway have high factor of safety against their construction works. Any work, any work they perform, they use high factor of safety, because safety is the primary concern of railways, not the expenses or cost. Therefore, you can see them in railway construction works. Okay, if you are crossing by railway stations and you can see there some sewer systems, you'll notice that they are cast iron sewer system generally. Now, plastic sewer pipes, mainly used in house drainage system. Now, we all have sewer systems, sewer designs in our home, and you can also notice that in your home which sewer pipes is attached. You will see that from nowadays, means if your house is constructed within last 10 years, then you will see that your house has plastic sewer pipes. Earlier we used to cast iron or steel pipes, but now we use plastic pipes. Okay, mainly used in house drainage systems, available in various size diameter between 25 mm to 100 mm. Okay, maximum size that is generally preferred in plastic sewer pipes is 100 mm. Okay, this one we have to notice that if the requirement is too high, then will not suggest plastic sewer pipes. Okay, another is GF. Okay, GRP pipes, also known as this glass fiber reinforced plastic. Okay, glass fiber reinforced plastic sewer pipes. This is advanced version of sewer pipes. Okay, they are made from polyester resins. Okay, and this is thermosetting plastics. We all know thermosetting and thermocouple. Okay, so this one is thermosetting, and they are not reusable plastics. Okay, we'll study in, yeah, if you know then it's okay. If you don't know, then they are not reusable plastics. You can read this in thermosetting plastics properties. Okay, so they are made from polyester resins, glass fibers, and sometimes silica sand is used as filler. Okay, so they are made from resins, polyester resins, and glass fibers, and sometimes we use silica sand as filler. What is filler? Filler is basically a material that is used to fill the voids, or sometimes the requirements of filling the gaps or connections also sometimes. Okay, so silica may be used as fillers. Okay, properties are it's lightweighted, easy to handle. Okay, when it is lightweighted, then obviously it would be easy to handle them. Okay, now this is the problem with cast iron pipes, that they are heavy and also costlier. Okay, smooth surfaces, hence less head loss. Okay, if the surface is smooth, then obviously there will be less head loss. We all know that. What is the major head loss? Okay, in your previous lecture you might have studied the losses in flow through pipes. And what is the major loss? The major loss is frictional loss that we calculate using Darcy-Weisbach equation. Okay, Darcy-Weisbach equation you all know, and we can calculate that using HF is equals to FLV square by 2ZD. If you can remember that, then it's okay. If you don't remember, then don't panic. It's nothing that is you that can be that is going to be used here, but you have to remember this thing, that the major loss in any pipe flow is due to friction. And if the surface is smooth, then it is obvious that friction coefficient will be less and the loss due to friction will also be less. Okay, now if the surface is smooth surface, hence the head loss will be less. Now repair work can be quickly done. Okay, okay. In civil engineering work, we have to keep this in mind that not just construction, but we'll also consider the part during maintenance also. Suppose we have constructed something, but one after construction we are not able to maintain that. We are not able to access that for maintenance purposes. Then this is not a good design or this is not a good construction work. Okay, so we'll also consider about the maintenance purposes. So we also studied in sewer system that we design manholes. Why we design manholes? I already told you guys that manholes are designed for maintenance purposes. Okay, this is completely for maintenance purpose. Okay, so here in glass fiber reinforced plastic sewer pipes, repair work can be easily done. Why it can be easily done? Due to its properties, and it's easy to handle. Okay, being easy to handle, so maintenance work can be done with them easily. Okay, now its installation is also faster. Why its installation is faster? Because it is easy to handle and its bonding is quite simpler. Okay, we'll see. This is GRP pipe, that is glass fiber reinforced plastic pipe. Okay, now we'll come. So that's all with the different type of sewer pipes we have studied. I may remind you in brief. Till now we have studied, we have started with brick sewers. Okay, then we have studied vitrified clay sewers. Okay, then we have studied concrete. Then we studied from today's lecture steel pipe sewers, then asbestos cement pipe sewers, again then cast iron sewers, plastic sewers, and then last glass fiber reinforced plastic sewer pipes. Now we are done with this. Okay, we'll study a different portion. Okay, that is why estimation of wastewater discharge is required. Look, this is part of planning. Okay, when we are about to design a sewer system, then we must have the idea of that for what flow or for what discharge we are going to design that. If suppose the requirement is of dia of 2 mm, because if the flow is that much only, and we have designed for 20 mm or 200 mm, then it's waste of. Okay, and pardon me, 2 mm won't be there. Suppose there is requirement of 20 mm only and we have designed for 200 mm, then it is wastage of money and time. Okay, so our previous calculation is quite important for any design purposes. Okay, so same with the design of sewer systems. Okay, Suppose we have underestimated the design or overestimated the design. Both will lead to the problem. What can be problem with underestimation? The pipe will burst. Okay, the pipe will burst, or there would be leakage or overflowing or water leakage. Okay, or what will be the problem with underestimate? Underestimate will lead high cost, and self-cleaning velocity will also won't be there. Okay, so these are the problems we'll study in detail. Let's see. Underestimation would result in less diameter of sewage, causing the overflow problems. It will create overflow problems and also can cause bursting of pipes because it will create high pressures. Okay, now overestimation, what will lead? It will lead to large diameter, which will increase the cost of sewer system. Also it will reduce the chances of self-cleaning velocity. We all know that self-cleaning velocity, what is self-cleaning velocity? Basically, as you have studied in a water supply system also, if you have studied, you might have studied, or if you didn't study, then here we'll discuss that what is self-cleaning velocity. Basically, self-cleaning velocity is that velocity at which some impurities get settled or get cleaned by its flowing nature. Okay, if it flow with such a velocity, then some impurities gets self cleaned. Okay, so this is the problem with overestimation. Okay, it won't attain self cleaning velocity. Now what is we will study about wastewater discharge. Okay, dry weather flow and wet weather flow. Now this is the problem. While designing, you will have to consider the monsoon factor also, because if we are designing a combined system, then the rainwater or storm water or precipitation will also pass through them. Okay, will pass through them only, so we'll have to consider them. Okay, so the design will be accordingly, like dry weather flow and wet weather flow, all these due to the effect of calculating the effect of storm water. Okay, now dry weather flow, the flow which is always available throughout the year. Okay, means this flow is always available, whether it is rainy season or it is summer. Okay, this flow is always available. It is the summation of domestic supply and industrial supply. Okay, we'll add both domestic supply and industrial supply. We have studied in our first lecture that what is difference between domestic and which kind of wastes include domestics and industrials. Okay, so if a region that has in industries, then there will be situation of domestic and industrial waste. If the region has no industries, then there is no need of to study this. Okay, and also we have discussed briefly that there is difference in the treatment process of household wastes and industrial wastes. Okay, now in case of wet weather flow, it consists the combination of dry weather flow and the storm water flow. Okay, as I told you earlier that the wet weather flow consists of both dry weather flow and storm water flow. Okay, dry weather flow, that is without including the rainwater, and wet weather flow includes both water without rain and rainwater, both ways. Okay, it is generally estimated with the combined sewer systems has adopted. Yes, I told you earlier that this is important only when we are considering a combined sewer system. If we are having separate sewer system, then also we'll have to consider the precipitation flows for that pipe, which is designed for the stormwater, but we need not to combine them. Okay, we'll only use separate design purposes. So estimation of dry weather flow, domestic wastewater, industrial wastewater, groundwater infiltration to sewer through joints. Okay, so in case of dry weather flow, the wastewaters that may be there are domestic wastewater, industrial wastewater, and also sometimes groundwater. Okay, sometimes groundwater also uh, infiltrate into the sewer pipes. Okay, so we'll study this in detail how groundwater can affect. Okay, wastewater generated from a city is the 80% of the wastewater. If the wastewater water supplied, okay, we have studied in water supply system that how much water we need in a city, that is almost 135 LPCT, that is liter per capita per day. Okay, so how much quantity, how much they discharge in as wastewater, that is 80% of the water supplied, means what we supply to them, 80% of water is discharged into wastewater. This is for cities. Okay, means if we are supplying 135 liters for every individual, 80% of 135 liter is discharged as wastewater. Okay, that will be around, I guess, 110 around 105 4. So this you have to remember. Okay, factors affect the dry weather flow. Okay, rate of water supply. Yes, more and more supply, more and more wastewater. Now this is very important point. Okay, actually this is point of concern of crisis. Okay, where water is easily available, there is wastage of water and more wastewater. So we have to check with this. Where there is huge supply of water, there is also huge wastewater available. Okay, so rate of water supply is most important for the dry weather flow calculation. Okay, area served. Okay, now if we are designing a sewer system, then we have to consider the area, whether area that is covering. Okay, that area we are covering through that sewer system. Okay, now also one of the most important point is that population growth. Okay, as you have studied in your water supply systems, I may remind you if you listen. Actually, we have to design any systems taking the effects of population growth. Suppose today a city has population of 1 lakh. Okay, in few years it increases to 100 and 1 lakh and 10,000, or suppose 1 lakh and 20,000. Then the requirements of water and the requirement of system, so suppose water supply system, or here in case of sewer systems, would not be same as it was earlier. So we'll have to design it accordingly. Okay, we have to consider the change in population or growth in population. Okay, for this we have different adopted methods, that is geometric increase, arithmetic increase, and most common or most adopted is that in cities like highly growing population where the population decrease is not obvious, there we use geometric increase. Okay, but suppose a city has its optimum population, then there we use incremental increase, or incremental increase is best for that situations. Okay, there we can calculate the population for, if suppose we are designing for 10 to 12 year or 15 years, or sometimes we also design for 20 year, then we'll calculate the possible population for the coming 20 years and we'll design accordingly. If our uh, system is being designed for coming 20 years, then we'll design according to the population for the coming 20 years. Okay, so population growth is an important factor to dry weather flow calculation. Okay, infiltration as well as exfiltration. Okay, so this is also a part. What is infiltration and what is exfiltration? Suppose groundwater enters to a sewer system, then this is infiltration. Okay, and if the groundwater, if the sewer water, okay, the wastewater goes to the groundwater system, or it gets leaked into surroundings, then it is exfiltration. So this may be also a factor Okay. Now this is the stats. Okay. We have to just see once. Population up to 20,000. Rate of water supply is 110. That is LPCD. You have to understand what is this. The unit is LPCD. That is liter per capita per day. So this much water is required for every individual in residential areas, for every individual, okay, per day. This much of water is required. And once we have provided them with this much of water, they will produce or they will discharge this much of wastewater. That is, if we provide 110, then the discharge will be 90. If we provide 110 to 150, then there will be 90 to 150. Suppose, as we have studied earlier, that 80%, almost 80% of water supplied is discharged into wastewater. Okay. Now, another point is population growth. We'll discuss then coming lectures. Okay. Till now, feel free to ask me any doubt. Okay. You can text, WhatsApp, or mail me. Thank you.